We'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which this project is created, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We would also like to pay our respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging.
Settle down and gather round for another tale. In the world of Nua, where time has carved and cultivated a magical utopia of wonder, a small group of adventurers unlock the deep mysteries of the land, its people, and themselves. Welcome to the Down Under Dungeon podcast.
My father was not just a mortal sorcerer. He was the Lord of Shadows? He deceived me, the man I had so blindly trusted, my own father. And yet, perhaps, for once, his lies were a mercy, a burden he carried to spare me the monumental pressure of the plans he had in store for me. Now it appears his death is my reward. For all I have endured, for all I have learned about the wickedness of the world, I now have the opportunity to change the course of the Umbra Isles, of the world. What does that change look like? As a child, I never would have imagined my life to have such a burden and purpose. There are some things I have learned that my father would never conceive. The power of friendship, the bonds forged in common purpose and striving to an ideal for everyone. My friends had served their purpose, he claimed, but dismissing the counsel and assurance of others leads me right back to where I began, hollow and alone. I cannot let this power consume me. I will not become like the leaders before me, the Witch Mousy, Mother Superior, Jarl Scruff, the Lord of Shadows, Yellen. However, it seems the world has one more test for me. A reminder that conviction is born to all those who seek change. The portal my father spent centuries creating shimmered to life, for the first time connecting the land of shadow to the material world of Nua, but not in the way either myself or my father had expected. Standing through the portal, in the basin of the Moongate, the same place we explored in Laladrud all those months ago, Mother Yellen, Jarl of Laladrud, coming once again to test the mettle of the Wellspringers.
Lysandra actually gets 5 HP from killing her dad.
From what?
Well, from a Hexblade's curse.
Oh.
Because he died. That's just part of the ruling of it.
From healing trauma.
Yeah, clearly, that's just what it is, right?
That's what happens in real life. When you kill your dad, you get 5 hit points back.
Forget about gaining all the shadow powers, growing in size.
Yep.
It's the hit points that matter.
You know, the cool horns thing, it's just the hit points.
Yep. Genuinely watch 5 hit points be the margin between life and death.
Yeah, no, now we're going to fight Yellen, and I am feeling confident that Lysandra is going to survive because of those 5 hit points.
Be careful.
Why must you test me, sir? You always test me. Anyway, let's get into it, gang. It's a very, very serious but should be fun episode today. Last episode, you defeated the Shadow Lord Belial, and the portal to Nua was opened, revealing your arch nemesis, old rival, Yellen, flanked by 2 of her Bloodraven guard. You see, at this point in time, although it is mid-morning in Shadowfell, it is late afternoon and into the evening in Nua, and the sun is well and truly setting, casting blood-red light over the stone statues of the druids. Yellen steps forward and looks at the portal with a sense of benign curiosity, and almost as she starts to study it, speaks through to you in a gentle voice saying, "It is a rare thing to find people with such vision as myself. It is a pity your ambition extends only to the end of your nose. I do not blame you, that is the way of things, and I have used that to my advantage from the very beginning. I was and am a devotee to the Lady Persephone, goddess of rain. But our priory, Lysandra, believed her a lesser in their pantheon. The priory was foolish to split their worship amongst disparate random gods who had fled here post the cataclysm, scraping together power and influence from their capricious whims. Fortunately, I was not the only one who saw through this waste and diluting of power. Charity understood this as well. In order to fully realize the Priory's ideals of liberation, exploration, betterment, the list must be culled. Alas, we, or at least myself, Lysandra, are still mortals. But the gods of rain and wind pale in comparison with the might of the sun, lightning, sea, and tides. Kufta, the minstrel of wind and communication, and Persephone, the lady of rain, will become the new pantheon in the Priory. With their holy union, it would mask the fact that they were put there by myself and Charity, and through them, we will make our world in our image. I had to become the most devoted to Persephone, the textbook scholar and pupil of the faith, and only then would she trust me with my plans, enough to bind me to her in a pact. The gods also seek the destruction of the Concord Dawn, as the Fae removed their worship from the fundamental laws of society. And now, as Jarl and Mother Superior, I can seek to change that. Political strife is only the backdrop, however, a necessary evil to cull the worshippers of the other gods and diminish their power. You might find it hard to believe, but it is hard to kill a god against their will, especially when those who still believe in them persist. However, if the gods were condemned to this plane by chance, the occurrence could be replicated, and they could be removed from the influence of Nuwa. With generous endowments paid to the Starlit Conservatory, Charity and I uncovered the existence of a nexus of power talked about by ancient wood elven scholars. Charity returned to Feldspar to begin our plans there, slowly poisoning the Deacon of Persephone and beginning to spread rumours that her sickness was due to Persephone's favour turning to another. Heading to Lal Udrud, I wished to learn more about these nexuses, but found instead a hostile frontier with hostile people at every turn. Once that was controlled, I could continue my work. I destroyed the Circle of Stone and banished the wildfire as a heresy against the rain. The Stonehenge in Lal Udrud turned out only to be an ancillary nexus, fed by a greater source elsewhere. I thank you, in truth, for finding this place for me. Once in power, I used the influence of my devotees to push back against the Pension Prospecting Company, commanding a tithe of all europium exacted from Lal Udrud. It is a strange substance, but we believe it to be the physical manifestation of the weave itself, the very essence of the plane. And with this new wealth and knowledge, I mounted my expeditions into the Sidewinder Canyon in pursuit of a Four Eyes expedition that seemed to suggest the finding of some ancient civilization. Luckily, I removed those pesky scholars, banning them from the hold, daring Feldspar to retaliate in a resource war that they will surely lose. For months we toiled, but with devotion comes results, and the ancient Apani Moongate was eventually discovered. You certainly made it difficult to decipher, Feng, but eventually we worked it out. Of course, I had to keep an eye on you, and once Charity informed me of your suspected lineage, Lysandra, I knew you, as always, would be the last wrinkle in my plan. With her star maps, we were able to change the opening of the Moongate to Shadowfell. All we had to do was wait for you to open the door. No matter. Once you are dealt with, we will use the Moongate to shackle the gods of Nuwa with our europium. Then we can banish them to the cursed land of shadow, where they can continue their contrived and capricious ways, unable to infect the material plane. At this, you see, Yellen turns and beckons her guards forward. Luckily, every saviour needs a tyrant to overcome, and the head of the Lady of Shadow will be very persuasive in establishing my divine right to rule. I gave you the chance to help me, Lysandra, but rest assured in your death, you will help me save this land from itself. I'm guessing the Wellspringers are not going through the portal to confront Yellen?
No.
No way.
No.
Denian put her flipping her off.
No idea who this woman is. The Mother Yellen wordlessly points forward, and the two blood ravens rush forward through the portal in a blur of silent steel and satin. For the last time this campaign, Wellspringers, roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
I want to know how she knows Feng was the one to move the rocks. Feng got a 19.
Lysandra got a 13.
Denis got a 17.
Louis got an 8.
Much better than last episode.
Not hard.
On initiative 22, that is Mother Yellen, Jarl of Lull or Druid. She uses her movement to move through the portal and looks at all of you. She's going to cast Bless on the Blood Ravens for her action. You see the Jarl Yellen holds up her hand and almost vapor starts to collect in her palms. And she shoots this out to the Blood Ravens, who are emboldened. You bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, they roll a d4 and add the number to the attack roll or saving throw. That is her turn. Initiative 19, Feng.
Alrighty. Feng luckily still has his Flame Blade active, so with his action is going to just try and take a strike with that at one of the Blood Ravens, and then as a bonus action is going to get Promi to shoot a small flaming seed at Yellen. I'll make that attack against the Blood Raven first. That's a nat 20!
Out the
That is
gate.
so much fucking damage.
Yes.
Holy shit. Because I have it Promi active, I get to add a d8 of fire damage to this, which automatically will get maximized due to the crit. So that is going to be... That is 38 fire damage.
Wow.
Yes.
Ow!
I was thinking, like, watch this motherfucker have a legendary resistance or something.
I do Promi's attack as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then Promi's gonna just shoot a little flaming seed at Yellen. That's another nat 20! Oh my god!
We're on today, lads. It's feeling good.
Oh god, I'm shaking.
You can't see him, but Dan's actually, like, almost in tears.
And that's 15 fire damage against Yellen.
Seed! Yes!
I'm imagining him, like, shitting the seed out at, like, high velocity.
Absolutely.
It's like an egg just shooting out of his butt.
That was for Frida.
You can say it a little bit meaner than that, Feng.
That's about as mean as Feng gets, man.
You nearly straight up kill one of these Blood Ravens, Feng, but it is not enough.
Make a concentration check on Bless, please.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, holy shit.
Now it's permanently up.
Denny, you are up.
Excellent. Any chance they're all standing in a line?
No!
Okay. Any chance? Then Denis is not knowing who this woman is or who these people are, is getting the vibes that she sucks, and is going to pull out his extra hot sauce and try and fire off a firebolt at Yellen.
Go for it.
That's a 2. So that one's gonna miss. Then Denis is failing to hit Yellen, is going to run over to Feng and use his Fey Gift of Hospitality to give us both 9 temporary hit points.
Thank you.
And you have the help action.
At the end of Denny's turn, you see Yellen shouts to her Blood Ravens, "Take the druid," and they both go for you, Feng.
Are they making melee attacks?
They sure are.
As a light cleric, I just gained a new ability. It's called Warding Flare. When you are attacked by a creature that can be blinded within 30 feet that you can see, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. I'm guessing the Blood Ravens can't be blinded.
They do not have eyes.
Damn it.
Oof, that's 2 hits on you with their blood size, Feng. You take 18 points of slashing damage, and I'm going to need 2 constitution saving throws from you, please. That's all up.
9. Second one. 7.
You failed the first one and the second one. Feng, you now suffer from the bleeding condition. The target takes 1d6 damage per round at the start of its turn, subtracting that amount from the creature's maximum HP value as well. The creature may make another constitution saving throw at the end of its next turn. It has a higher DC to overcome the bleeding condition.
Okay, I've got to make 2 concentration checks on Flame Blade. That's a 10, which is a success, and then the second one is a 7. Flame Blade drops.
It's okay, we got out the crits first.
Lysandra, it is your turn.
So, given Lysandra is a size large creature now, can she use her packed weapon feature to grow her weapon to an appropriate size for her to wield?
That sounds sick as hell.
Awesome. So she's going to try and morph her longsword into a great sword, and using the rules in the DMG, she can use double the weapon dice for that great sword.
Ooh. How much damage is that now?
So that's going to be 4d6 per hit.
Shit.
So as she channels this newfound power into her sword, I imagine it grows bigger, almost like a femur of sorts. Sort of starts looking like a bit of a club and then sharpens out into this like blade. The hilt grows longer and weaves like up around her hand as a sort of guard. And with that, she's going to point down at Yellen. That's so cool saying I'm going to point down at her. Love being tall. And as a bonus action, use a new Aura of the Lost Demigod. Can Yellen please make a DC 15 dexterity save?
She fails.
Fantastic. So as she points down at Yellen, these tendrils of shadow come out of this new sword and surround Yellen, and Lysandra is now granted advantage on the next attack against her, and I add an extra 2d6 necrotic damage to her.
Very nice.
Nice.
And with that, that is the end of Lysandra's turn.
On initiative 8, Louis, I now need a DC 6 Constitution saving throw.
Come on.
Last time I rolled this, it was a 6, so it better be better. That is a natural 1. For a 3 in total. But I do have luck points.
Go on.
So I'm going to use a luck point.
Fuck me.
Oh my god.
Now, luck points are not advantage or an assist, so technically I have to allow it.
Thank you. That is an 8.
Okay. Oh my god. Georgia, I swear to God.
Louis, you have your entire action economy.
We're playing with death here, folks. Okay, so, object interaction. She wants to take the griffin statue from the pouch where it hangs on her belt, wants to yell over the Feng, heads up, and throws it to him. This is the item we got from the vampire in the markets back in Caldera City. And then, as her action, she wants to cast Bane on Yellen and the 2 blood ravens to see if she can negate that bless. So I need a charisma saving throw, please.
From all of them,
Yes, please.
the 2 blood ravens succeed, Yellen fails, however.
Oh shit.
Okay, so Yellen is baned.
She is going to burn one of her legendary resistances.
Okay, good to know.
Good.
Then, as Louis' bonus action, the little animated gargoyle is still here, still doing his angry little dance from the Shadow Lord, and is going to, as Louis looks to Lysandra and gives her last bardic inspiration, is going to run up to Yellen and attempt to just punch whatever part of her he can reach. Is a 14?
Not gonna hit.
I don't think this guy's hit once.
I don't think he has.
Dude, watch him get the final blow.
That is Louis' turn.
At the end of the round, Feng, I need you to roll a d6 for me.
Sure. 3.
Okay. Back at the top of the round, it is Mother Yellen, Jarl of Lulludrud. Having seen one of her bodyguards nearly eviscerated in one hit by Feng, she has no choice and must do this now for the sake of her cause. She's going to cast a 6th level heal. Choose a creature that you can see within range. A surge of positive energy washes through the creature, causing it to regain 70 hit points. And you see the Blood Raven, which was on fire from Feng, is completely renewed and points its scythe back at Feng in resolve.
Shit.
Fortunately for you all, that is her action. Feng, you are up next.
Okay, would it be an action to try and catch the statue that Louis thrown to me?
Yes. No. I will make you make a sleight of hand check for me to catch it, Feng.
7.
With the 7, I'm gonna say Louis is an old lady throwing a very heavy bronze statue, so you can go and pick it up, but it will trigger opportunity attacks if you want to.
I have to risk it. Feng's going to try and use his action to get over there and rub the statue.
Alright, at the start of your turn, you take a d6 of bleeding damage, which is 3 points of bleeding damage. That 3 points is also reduced from your maximum HP. The Blood Ravens are going to make their attacks. I rolled 2 17s on the dice.
Silvery barbs on one of them.
That 17 turns into a 4.
That's a miss.
You take 9 points of slashing damage, Feng.
I am just standing.
And you are already under the bleed condition, so that does nothing else to you.
As an action, I would like to try and, with every bit of hope still left, rub the statue to try and summon the griffin as I'm staring daggers towards the 2 blood ravens and Yellen and say, "This is for Frida."
You look at Feng starts to stroke this bronze griffin. Luckily, Promi is out,
Yeah.
so Promi gives the griffin a withering look as you see this bronze statue expand in size, and with the sound of wrenching metal, this enormous bronze griffin stands before you, Feng. It acts on your initiative and obeys your command until your death or its. What do you command it to do?
Attack that bitch over there. Please.
You see the griffin obliges and soars up into the air. It is going to use its multi-attack to Talon Yellen.
And then as my bonus action, I'll get Proby to tag team and fly down and attack Yellen as well. Proby got another nat 20.
Oh my god!
I've already rolled 3 nat 20s. What the fuck?
You've rolled 1. Promi's rolled 2.
Yeah.
The griffin hits on one of its Talon attacks, so roll your damage for Promi.
10 fire damage.
That's 10 fire damage from Promi. She'll roll concentration on Bless. That's a 2. Bless goes down.
Fuck yes.
Yes.
She also takes another 7 points of slashing damage from the griffin. Denny, it is your turn.
Denny, seeing Feng summon this griffin and get hit and not looking great because he's still bleeding, is going to run up to Feng and cast a 2nd level Cure Wounds. Runs up to him and says, "Hands! I need fucking hands!" And cures him for 20 HP.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Denny. I hope we all get out of this.
Yeah, me too, man. And then with his bonus action is going to completely contradict that and try and hide behind Feng.
Go for it.
It's an 8.
Funnily enough, these unseeing, unblinking assassins still notice your presence, Denny. You have just healed the person they were trying to kill, and so they are going to step around Feng and slash down at you with their scythes. That's 1 hit on you, Denny. You take 10 points of slashing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
17.
17 passes. Feng, I forgot you need to roll for the bleed effect at the end of your turn.
Okay. It's a 6.
Not gonna do it.
I'm getting the nat 20s where they count, I guess.
Lysandra, you are up.
Lysandra is going to march straight on over to Yellen and go and try and attack her. The first one with that advantage. 26 to hit.
Hits.
The second attack is a 19.
Hits.
Nice.
Amazing.
Achievable armor class, baby.
Yes! So that's going to be 43 points of slashing damage and an extra 9 points of necrotic damage.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I mean, it is our final combat, I guess.
It's cool as hell.
And as Lysandra slashes left and right, she's just going to say to Yellen, "The gods were there to be symbols of betterment for the people, not political pawns in some ridiculous game that you're playing."
Yellen turns, spits blood from her mouth, looks back up at you, Lysandra, and says, "We are beyond words now, devil."
Can she please make a DC 15 dex save for my bonus action?
Passes.
All good.
end of your turn, she's going to use one of her legendary actions, Persephone's Facade. All creatures within 10 feet of Yellen, so includes Promi and the Gargoyle, must succeed on a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw.
Promi would be pretty wise, right?
+2. Promi fails.
Lysandra's going to use a bardic. For a 19, she succeeds.
You pass. Promi and the Gargoyle are both frightened.
Did I say that the gargoyle failed?
Oh, did you?
No. The gargoyle fails as well.
Oh, I just assumed.
Can the gargoyle be frightened?
The gargoyle is immune to the frightened condition.
So is Promi.
No, well, that sucks. Louis, that is your turn. I need a DC 8 Constitution saving. Yeah, how's that giggling going now?
Come on, you got
There
this.
we go. You got the bad rolls out early. It's all smooth sailing for you.
That is a dirty 20.
You pass, you have your entire action economy.
Louis is going to look to the Blood Raven that's closest to her and is going to use a 4th level spell to cast Antagonize on him. I need a Wisdom saving throw of 16, please.
Fail.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
So the wording of this spell is, you whisper magical words that antagonize one creature of your choice within range. The target must make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 4d4 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of your choice that you can see. Because I'm casting this at a 4th level, it'll be 5d4 worth of damage.
Beautiful.
Nice.
That is 19 points of psychic damage.
Is that almost max?
It's 4 4s and 1 3.
Oh
Oh my god. And a 3.
It's now going to use its reaction to, I'm guessing, hit the other Blood Raven.
Yes.
Or yellow. Maybe.
Not within range.
No, I want it to hit the other Blood Raven.
Okay.
7 on the dice misses.
That's okay, it's okay.
Alright.
That's its reaction,
But it
right?
had used its reaction. It had used it to try and hit Feng.
Oh, it had 2.
It had opportunity attacks.
No, that was last round.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was
that was this
First
first round.
round. Oh, well, it missed anyway,
Yeah.
so...
Fair cop, actually.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, there is a thing that is for that. If the target can't make this attack, for example, because there's no one within reach or because its reaction is unavailable, the target instead has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the start of my next turn.
Sick!
Okay.
Even better.
Louis is just going to also use her bonus action to command the dancing item to try and punch Yellen from where it is again.
Okay.
Come on.
It's not a hit.
Good 6.
We're not naming it, put 6.
You'll be dead soon.
Bitch. It's a natural 1.
I love this guy.
The strongest of us all.
Truly just like hopping around her feet like an angry little ant.
At the end of the round, that is another count on the d6 that Feng rolled. At the top of the order, that is Yellen. She smiles back up at you, Lysandra, and is going to cast a 7th level harm on you.
Oh my god. Okay, settle down.
Alright.
I was jealous.
She is also using her reaction called Divine Will to give you disadvantage on this save.
Ouch.
Ow!
That might be a waste. Oh, no, just because she'll roll low anyway.
Hey, okay, let me roll first and then you can insult me. What save is this?
Constitution.
14.
That fails.
Damn.
You take 14d6 necrotic damage.
What?
Lysandra, you take 54 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
The damage cannot reduce the target's hit points below 1.
Okay.
However, because you failed the saving throw, your hit point maximum is reduced for 1 hour by the amount equal to the necrotic damage it took.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, DM? Is it only reducing her hit point maximum by the amount she takes to get to 1? Or is it that full 50?
It's 54 damage.
Okay.
So max HP gets reduced by 54.
Yeah.
You see this divine, brilliant energy, Lysandra, that you once studied, and now it sears and it burns you. And you see Yellen looks up and smiles at you and says, "You think you are the only one imbued with power?" That is her turn. She does turn to the Blood Ravens and say, "Bring me her head." Feng, this is your turn. At the start of your turn, you take an additional 4 points of bleeding damage and reduce that from your max HP as well.
Feng, seeing this happen to Lysandra and her almost get obliterated in one strike, is going to scream out to her and get Promi to dive down as a bonus action and teleport her 15 feet away from Yellen. Yellen has to make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw.
Fails.
4 fire damage. And then as an action, will punch himself in the chest and expend 2 charges to turn Promi into like this solar flare as he lands down in front of Yellen and becomes a guardian of faith in front of her, trying to protect Lysandra. So on Yellen's turn, she'll have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. And I need a constitution saving throw.
7.
Doesn't do it. Denny, it is your turn. You are surrounded by 2 blood ravens.
Surrounded by 2 blood ravens at the moment who are about to go after Lysandra. Denny is going to try and run at Yellen. First thing Denny's going to do is try and trigger those attacks of opportunity by leaving the blood raven space.
One of them will have disadvantage that was hit by...
Fine, Louis.
Okay, 1 misses. Well done. 1 does hit. That's 11 points of slashing damage. I need a constitution saving throw, please.
17.
Passes.
Beautiful.
Sweet. Denny is then going to send Pud out to Yellen and cast a 2nd level inflict wounds through Pud on Yellen.
Beautiful.
Which I've creatively named Stab. So Denny's going to stab, or rather Pud's going to stab. 15, and I am going to use the Bardic on this. That's a 21.
That hits.
How much damage was on the Bardic dice?
6.
She takes 6 points of thunder damage.
Beautiful.
And then through Pud, we roll 4d10. 26 necrotic damage.
Whew.
Ouch. Yellen is not looking good.
And can I just say that when Pud does this, he looks at Yellen and says, "Hey, did you the one who got quick?" He was a good boat. And then stabs her.
He was a good bow.
And then with his bonus action, Denny's going to run up to Lysandra and use his Fey Gift of Hospitality to give her 9 temporary hit points.
Oh, you're amazing.
Sweet. Necessary. Might save her life.
I didn't think my heart could go faster than it did the other week, but oh my god, I am like about to have a freaking heart attack.
I don't think I've been this scared since the last time we fought the Blood Ravens.
Yeah.
After getting hit by Pud, Yellen is going to use one of her reactions, Divine Favor, and heal herself for a little bit. She rolls a 12 on the d12.
You don't need to tell us.
Hey, when I roll well, I want people to know too.
But you're the bad guy.
He's all the bad guys.
Okay, that is the Blood Raven's turn. They are no longer threatened because Denny is not there, and they are going to rush over to Lysandra. You are not under the bleed condition, which is good.
Would Feng get an attack of opportunity?
No, it's if they're leaving. Wait, would they be leaving your threatened area?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, Feng's gonna try and use his Staff of the Living Dawn to attack the weakest Blood Raven. 18?
Hits.
Sweet. 7 points of bludgeoning damage. I think that's the first time I've attacked him. Every little bit counts.
One of them looks very hurt, but is still strong enough to rush over to Lysandra.
Damn.
You see the Blood Ravens are like trying to like jump up onto you, Lysandra, to go for your neck. That's 2 hits on Lysandra. You take 8 points of damage on the first hit. I need a Constitution saving throw.
9.
That fails. And that's 7 points of slashing damage on the second hit.
Because Lysandra took the 54 damage before that reduced her hit points down. If she had taken any more damage than that, she would have just outright died.
Thank you for those temporary hit points.
So you go down and you are also under the bleed condition, Lysandra.
Yep.
That is the Blood Raven's turn. Lysandra, at the start of your turn, you suffer damage from the bleed condition and lose 1 death saving throw.
Okay.
So please now roll your death saving throw.
That's an 11.
That's a pass.
Okay.
You see hear this enormous thud as the Lady of Shadow goes to a knee and topples over prone, and you see the Blood Ravens begin to circle back towards her head, and Yellen laughs from the mouth of the portal. Louis, you've seen your protege fall, and before you do anything else, I need a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Fuck me.
I don't think I can take this in the world.
You got this.
Fuck. It's another natural 1. I'm using another luck point.
Ooh, mama.
Louis feels the core of her pull backwards, like trying to pull itself from her skin, and through whatever force is keeping her here, sees her friends on death's door and says, "Not yet!" It's a 7. I'm using my final luck point.
Okay, that is your last luck point, Louis.
Fuck.
Roll it up.
Please!
Come on, Louis.
Not now. That's a natural 2 for a 4.
Oh no.
Louis, despite your will, and you're almost fighting yourself at this point, and, I think you do, no, not now. And you wonder whether if you had just come to terms with this sooner, perhaps you wouldn't have done it in this situation at this time. But if there is one thing you have learned from your many years upon this plane, is that life is very seldom fair. The rest of the Wellspringers who are conscious look up to see Louis, who I think just with a soft sigh almost and release, you see dissipate through the portal into nothingness. And Louis, what are your last thoughts on this mortal plane?
I think Louis sees Lysandra face down. She sees Feng in his sunlit glory. Looks over at Denis, who after all this was the bravest of all of them. Just whispers, "Thank you all. I'm sorry if I made this any harder than it has to be. I'll be watching. I'll be waiting." And she turns as the physicality of her fades in a twirl of orange and purple light. And she sees on the horizon a rising sun of blue fey magic and a small cottage where her wife waits. And though it feels peaceful, she can't help but feel responsible for all that she did, and hopes that whatever legacy's left can make up for the trouble that she caused, and lets others let legacy live on.
At the end of the round, Feng, you feel this righteous fire boiling within you again as you see Lysandra fall and Louis dissipate back into the cycle of life. I need a perception check, please, from you as the count that you rolled goes to 0.
To 23.
Something catches your eye through the portal. A flicker of flame, and a small fox begins to dart through the statues and leap through the portal, and as it does, transforming into the figure of Frida, the first flame of Lala Druid. Sorry.
Yes, queen.
You see, though her eyes are blinded, she is standing with a strength that you have never seen from her before. flames seem to crackle from the very fur herself, and she looks at you and says, Feng, get up. This is the time. This is it. Be the phoenix. And she is going to rush over to you, Feng, and cast a 4th level Cure Wounds on you.
Thank you so much, Frida. I can't lose any more people. We have to save Lysandra.
Feng, you are healed for 25 points of damage as you feel the familiarity of the flames of the wildfire circle as she bolsters you. I'll now roll initiative for Frida. You got an 8, Louis. How cute.
No.
My replacement. I see how it is. Is this how we do things on the Down Under Dungeon
podcast?
At the start of the round, that is Yellen. She must make a what kind of save thing?
Dexterity saving throw.
She rolls a 4 and burns her last legendary resistance on that.
She'll still take 10 radiant damage.
She is immune to radiant damage.
Fuck off.
Of course she fucking is.
Well, no, then she wasted her legendary resistance.
I know, I'm still angry.
Yeah, no, but...
Yellen is... I hate doing this.
He says laugh.
No, I hate it now.
No, I hate it, guys.
It's called anxiety, and I laugh to mask. Yellen believes that the tide of the battle has turned, and so now she is just going to clean up, and she is going to cast at a 4th level guiding bolt at you, Denny. It's a 19 on the dice.
Yeah, gonna hit.
You take 17 points of radiant damage.
Nothing else? Then he's still up.
Okay. You see Yellen opens her hands and says, Glorious purpose. Feng, it is your turn. You take 4 points of bleed damage, which is reduced for your max HP.
I do have a question, actually, DM. Do I get the sense that with Lysandra's new title, that there would be a sense of obligation from the Gloom Legion to help her?
Huh. You know what? You are 100% correct. She is the Lady of Shadow, and until the Umbra Isles decides otherwise, she is the leader.
I would like to use my action to skywrite. I can write up to 10 words in the sky, and I would like to write, Gloom Legion, your Lady of Shadow needs you. As you see that Feng looks up to the sky, his eyes turn fully red, and he starts to control the weather around him as you all feel this like hot air start to whip up from the ground, from the volcano as it starts to become more alive, and these clouds start to spurt out from him, and he writes that into the air, hoping to summon the Gloom Legion to help Lysandra.
This is so cool, and Skywrite is such a shit spell. I'm going to need you. It works. The spell goes off. There is no roll needed. Because it is so cool, Feng, I need a luck check from you, and you can roll this with advantage.
That's a natural 20.
Oh. Feng, as you cast this spell, I think it's more out of desperation than you actually think it will work.
Yeah, for sure.
Suddenly, you hear pops of arcane magic and flame as several Gloom Legionnaire Shadow Sorcerers teleport down into the throne room. You see some of them are like singed with their armor melted, having clearly just been pulled from the battle with Waganju up in the Caldera city above. You see they look around shocked for an instant at the portal and everything here, looking around for Belial. What do you say to them, Feng?
Feng looks at them, points to Lysandra on the ground and says, you have a new leader. Your Lady of Shadow needs you. Protect her at all costs. And then just as a bonus action, we'll command the Griffin, who we've been forgetting this entire time, to take as many actions as possible to just claw Yellen's face off.
I'll let you roll for this. It's going to use its multi-attack, so 2 attack rolls, please, and plus 7 to hit.
One will miss with a 12, but then one is a 25.
Roll me a d8.
7.
7 plus 4. You see Yellen, like Belial, is so mad with all these pets, just harassing her, and they are like getting through the chinks in her armor as she does look weakened, but she still believes that she has luck on her hand. Excellent turn, Feng, well done. And I need another Constitution saving throw from you to try and end the effect.
I know that Louis is not with us anymore, but would I still have her bardic magic?
Yes, you may use Louis' last bardic.
Thank you. I think I needed it. That's a 14.
A 14 is not high enough to end the condition. Denny, it is your turn.
Excellent. Denny is gonna tell Pud to once again stab Yellen, this time using his free use of the spell due to his shadow touch, so that's just first level.
Unfortunately, both warlocks and sorcerers get counterspell, so the Mother Yellen is going to counterspell that inflict wounds.
Good stuff. Okay, then Denny, with his bonus action, is going to try and administer Lysandra's health potion to her. So that would be 2d4 plus 5. It's 9 HP back.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
At least she's not making death saves.
Now that Lysandra is up, you're still prone, however, though.
That's okay.
So they will be making these attacks with advantage.
And she doesn't have her shield up, so her AC is a 17 for your information.
They roll a 17 and a 16 on the dice. Before that, you take 3 points of damage and reduce your HP maximum by 3
Doesn't she make a con save? Oh no.
at the end of her turn. I rolled so low on the dice.
Good.
That's 8 in total.
Yeah, so with lowering her max hit points by 3, 8 damage outright kills her.
You see, finally, the Blood Ravens slash into Lysandra. And she falls. Next in the initiative order is Frida. Frida sees Lysandra go down and she looks to you, Feng, and says, I think this is what you were making me see, Feng, that I have to look past the circle, past everything and make true change in the world, and I know the elders are gonna hate this, and don't you hate me for this? And you see Frida gives you a quick peck on the cheek, Feng, and rushes over to Lysandra. With her last energy left as a wildfire druid, she is going to pump a Revivify into you, Lysandra, but you see this reduces Frida to unconscious and she starts making death saves as a result. With the cleansing fire of her magic, you also gain the benefits of the Greater Restoration spell. You are back up to 1 HP. Your HP max has been returned to normal, but you do see that Frida falls, Feng, in this moment, and she is out of combat.
Holy shit. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. God, I love Frida.
Back at the top of the round, you see Yellen screams, no! As Lysandra is revivified. The Guardian of Faith is still in front of her, no?
It is, but she's immune to radiance, so it doesn't really matter.
Feng, for your insolence in bringing Frida and inspiring her, even though Yellen thought that she had destroyed her will, is going to cast a 5th level Guiding Bolt at you. There's a nat 1 on the roll. There's nothing she can do about that.
She explodes.
It backfires. She hits herself.
It regards off the radiant damage.
Louis comes back to life.
The bolt singes past you and actually strikes one of the shadow sorcerers who are like, ah! and moves to the side. It is now your turn. Both the Griffin and the Shadow Sorcerers will act at the end of your turn.
I think Feng draws as much of that energy in as he can. He even looks towards Promi as this little kind of solar statue in front of her, takes his big breath in and absorbs Promi back into the lamp as he is going to wild shape into the Eternal Phoenix and use his 120 fly speed to fly directly at Yellen and dive bomb her. He unfortunately doesn't have the action economy to attack, but fucking prepare, bitch.
Yeah, you see the Guardian of Faith, is it?
Yes.
You see the Guardian Faith in front of her. This Phoenix just erupts through it, and even Yellen has to take a couple steps back and shields her face from the radiant heat of the Phoenix.
I think Feng as a Phoenix is a lot less pure fire than what we saw Merle. There's almost flecks of daylight appearing out of this brilliant white light radiating off the tendrils of feathers that are seeping out the bottom of his wings, almost like this ethereal magic kind of mixing with the actual druidic nature of this.
Wonderful. At the end of your turn, the Griffin is going to make a multi-attack against Yellen.
I also need to check about bleed damage and con save.
Yep. You take 1 point of bleeding damage and reduce your HP maximum by 1.
Con save?
Con save.
Not 20! I rolled so many.
As you turn into the Phoenix, the fire cauterizes your wounds, Feng, and you are no longer suffering from the bleed condition.
Finally.
The Shadow Sorcerers, 2 are going to flank Lysandra and protect her, while 2 of the other ones are going to cast Hold Person on Yellen.
And the Griffin will take its multi-attack?
Yes.
Do you want me to roll?
Yes, please.
Can the guys try to cast it first before the multi-attack?
Yeah, go for it.
She passes on both of their spells with 16 and a 15 on the dice.
Damn. What am I plussing to this, sorry?
7.
That's 2 misses with a 3 and a 5 on the dice.
You see Yellen is batting away these sorcerers and griffins, trying to get closer to her blood ravens and Lysandra. Denis, it is your turn.
Alright, Denis is going to walk a little to the left, I imagine, so he has a clear shot on Yellen. He's going to use his potion of advantage condition and he's going to try and make a sneak attack on Yellen. It's a 14. Denis is going to use his Fortune of the Many to add a 3 to that to bring it to 17.
17 hits.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Counterspell this bitch.
Yeah.
17 points of piercing damage.
You see, with this bolt, Yellen for a second falters to one knee before struggling up again, and she calls to her blood ravens.
I am so sorry, but that was just my action.
Okay.
Yep. Denis is then going to get over to Lysandra and use his final Fey gift of hospitality to give us both another 9 HP.
Oh my god.
10 HP. I've rolled highest on all of those.
After she's hit by that attack, Denis, she's going to use one of her legendary actions, Divine Favor, and heal herself for some amount of damage. That is the Blood Raven's turn. You see that they are having to deal with the Shadow Sorcerers first before they can get to Lysandra. One misses, the other crits. You see a Blood Raven just slashes down one of these moon elves, literally cutting them in half with their scythes, and the other one is able to just parry with their staff. They cannot do anything else. Lysandra, it is your turn.
As a bonus action, Lysandra's first going to get one of the Blood Ravens to make a DC 15 dexterity save.
4 on the dice, fails.
Thank fucking god. She's going to get up from being prone and is going to attempt to just kill him. 21 for the first attack.
Hits.
Second one misses on a natural 1. 18 points of slashing damage. Plus 8 points of necrotic damage.
Lysandra, you, in retribution of your new shadow escort, completely crush the Blood Raven that had just killed the Shadow Sorcerer. It's just completely eviscerate him and he is gone. There's only one Blood Raven remaining.
Can Lysandra shout out to the Gloom Legionnaires that have come down? Thank you, my warriors. We can still win this. Throw everything you have at her. And Lysandra points her sword over to Yellen.
Wonderful. That is Frida's turn. She's going to make a death saving throw. That is a fail. At the start of the turn, Feng, Yellen is completely blocked by this enormous phoenix in front of her. She is going to cast a 5th level Inflict Wounds on you as she reaches out and makes contact with your feathery form. Does a 14 hit?
Does not.
It does not, as your phoenix magic absorbs hers. Damn, and that's a 5th level spell gone.
Beautiful.
Thank God.
Have fun wasting them.
Feng, it is your turn.
Feng, with this new rage in this new form, is just going to try and use his fiery talons to attack her. Does an 18 hit?
It does.
Yes.
That is 15 points of fire damage.
Yellen reaches up, casts this spell, and she steps back, stumbling. The blood dripping from her mouth begins to boil in the radiating heat of this phoenix, and she looks up at you, Feng, and says, No, not some heathen of fire. I won't allow it. I won't.
Feng, fighting this whole campaign to try and talk as an animal, is going to see if in his new phoenix form he is able to get the words out and say, this is for Quig, this is for Louis, this is for Frida, this is for everyone in Nua who you have destroyed.
You remember, Feng, Merle said be the phoenix. So it's not like you're even changing your form. You are the phoenix. And your message booms out across the throne room as you preach.
And Feng rips out her throat with these fiery, sharp talons.
You see as Yellen has a look of utter shock and bewilderment on her face, stumbles to the ground, clutching her throat. The Blood Raven swivels around to look at her and immediately starts backing up against the wall as the Shadow Gloom Legion begin to surround them. All you can hear is the dripping of blood, the crackling of flames. What's going through the Wellspringers' minds at this moment? Denny, we'll start with you.
I think Denny is probably like sharpening his knives, getting ready to harvest the meat from Yellen's body. But he's thinking about Louis and Lysandra and how much story they had that he didn't even know about, how much life they had lived beyond his own perception. And is probably thinking that life is way too short to be holding on to grudges or, useless shit that doesn't serve you after a point. So as he prepares to commit cannibalism, he thinks about his dad and thinks, I'm gonna go see him.
Lysandra in this moment is tired, in pain, kind of freaking out a little bit, but is thankful for the sacrifices that the Wellspringers have made, and is thankful that, in a way, that she was right about Yellen and right about Yellen's goals, and that fills her with a sense of power. And as she watches as the Gloom Legions around her support her and go and get rid of the Blood Ravens, there's this feeling of freedom that wells in her chest. And as she looks around the room, she notices that Louis isn't there. There's no body, there's no sign of her. She's going to look over to the other Wellspringers. Where's Louis?
Denny, with tears in his eyes, just shakes his head.
Was it peaceful?
I wouldn't say super peaceful, but it seemed like she had made her peace with it.
Well, then we can only honor the sacrifices that she made for us.
Feng is going to revert back into his Furbolg form as he flies down and descends to Frida's side and just looks at her and cradles her head in his lap and says, Frida, no, you can't die as well. And he's going to try and pump a 4th level Cure Wounds into her.
You see as your magic intertwines with her, Frida's blinded eyes flicker open, and she takes a massive breath and says, I knew you were the chosen one, Feng. I knew it.
Are you sure, Frida? You kind of doubted me for a moment. I mean, I doubted myself, so I get it, but like...
I often have, problems expressing my emotions, and so I just kind of hide behind this cutesy facade, and yeah, it got me into a fuck ton of trouble.
Hey, me too. But I get it. It's okay, Frida. It's no longer about what could have been and what mistakes we made along the way. You did everything for us today. You're most of the reason that we were able to succeed.
If you say so, Feng, I'll definitely take that credit. really pads out my CV.
You saved Lysandra. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, that was also kind of something I was like, ooh, do I revive the big shadow lady? Like, she looks evil, but then you all some friends with each other, so I don't get it. I look.
Good and evil is a moral conundrum that is never going to stop. We don't get to decide who's good and evil, so you did the right thing.
And as the battle begins to ebb, and as finally there is peace in the throne room once again, you see the sun through the portal set as the familiar purple glow of the twin moons of Nua rise upon the Sidewinder Canyon. And while everything is changed and the future of the party is unknown, the familiar light and the ringing of cicadas soothes your souls. And that is where we will end the campaign.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking hell.
Good lord.
Yeah. I am still here, by the way. Hi, everyone.
I need a drink.
Same.
Several.
Yeah.
I need meth.
Yeah.
Okay, cannibalism and meth. Oscar, really? In the last 5 minutes?
Hey, it's a cliffhanger ending. The epilogue for Denny gets real dark.
I'd like to take a moment to thank our audience for listening this season. It has been truly a privilege to be part of this podcast and collaboratively bringing a world to life, from music to art to irreverent improv. I'm so excited to see where the podcast moves next. We have an exciting new cast and story for season 2, so make sure you stay connected with us on our socials at Down Under Dungeon Pod or from our link tree. For all things Nua, follow the conversation on our Discord, tag us in your fan art, and feel free to reach out to us directly at downunderdungeonpod@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this season, which I sincerely hope you have, our characters, our banter, leave us a 5-star review on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we will see you next week for a very special episode, the epilogue to the Wellspringers.
Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.